What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's going on out there, fight fans? What's up, man? Hope y'all having a blessed day out there today. It's the homie main man, made man in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. You know what I mean? Got a quick minute. Thought I'd get up on here for a quick rap, man. So let's see what's going on. You know what I mean? Salute to everybody that come in here doing this live stream, and salute to everybody that catches this on the playback. You know what I mean? So also don't forget to come past here on Wednesdays and Saturdays for We Talking Boxing, where it's always going down. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is this, man. So last night, my brother Monty Brown TV interviewed IBF super featherweight champion Tevin Farmer. I'll leave a link in the description box for anybody who missed the interview last night. Go click that link and go check it out. It was a great, great interview. You know what I mean? So I was over there last night and I'm rocking up with them in the comment section. And I'm posting questions. And as you post questions, Monty will ask Tevin these questions. And I was just asking some specific questions because I really wanted to know what Tevin's mindset was at from how he views himself. Because one of the things that Tevin gets for his criticism is some people believe that he's gotten a little arrogant over time. And I don't accredit to that. I think that what Tevin's been through in his career, far as like coming up, everybody closing doors in his face, nobody giving him a second chance. No one's giving him a fair chance. I'm sorry. They seen him 4 losses and no one would really, he said he went to knocked on every door and no one would open the door for him. So, now that he's on top and after all that he's been through, he feels as though, yeah, well, I had to fight my way through all of that crap, the crap of boxing. You know what I'm saying? I had to fight my way through all of that crap. So guess what? I want the proper respect and I'm not giving nobody no freebies neither. That's pretty much Tevin Farmer's mindset right now. You know what I mean? And I can't be mad at him because, like I said before, he feels some kind of way because, he been through a lot and no one believed in him probably the way he felt as though people should have. It's cool to see Lou DiBella, his promoter, stand by his side right now. Clearly, man, Lou DiBella is holding him down. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Muhammad Hamatola in the building. What up, fam? Oh, Mark Wonderlick in the building. What's going on? Utah in the house all day. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, Muhammad Hamatola. And definitely salute to you, Mark Wonderlick. And Chin Smoke in the building. What's up, fam? What's up with you, man? So, yeah, so last night, so anyway, so I started to ask Tevin Farmer some questions. I said, we hear that you want to fight Gary Russell Jr. if you get past JoJo Diaz. And he's like, yeah, he definitely want to do that. So I'm like, when you think of Gary Russell Jr., do you see yourself as the A side? And he says, absolutely. He sees himself as definitely the A side over Gary Russell Jr. And we're going to deal with that. You know what I mean? Now, as for JoJo Diaz, he's currently working on that fight right now. He's just recently came out on social media and put that it's not a done deal yet. Tevin's still trying to tie up some loose ends. He said there's still some little money things that needs to be negotiated and worked out. Plus, on top of that, he's still currently in the process of working out something with Matchroom Boxing, his co-promoter. So he's still kind of working those things out in the background, but it looks as if that he's still marching towards JoJo Diaz. But anyway, so Tevin also started to bring up about the Tank fight. And he, it's well documented and it's well on record, as confirmed by Tevin Farmer, that in the Tank fight that they wanted to offer Tank, well, Mayweather Promotions wanted to offer Tank $7 million and they wanted to give Tevin $2 million. And Tevin felt as though that was a low ball offer. And I was like, hey, man, I think, 2 wouldn't have been that bad if you would have took that 2 and went after Tank's title, becoming, Tank had the WBA Super Championship at 130. You got the IBF. It would have been a unification fight. You could have then took that, if you would have got past Tank, took that belt, went back to the zone, says, I want a better deal, 50 times better now that I'm a unified champion. You're going to have to up the price. And anyone who steps in the ring with me will have to up the price. And that's how I thought that would have been a better route. But he says that the $2 million was too low. It wasn't, he was like, this is a big time fight. It's going to be a big time pay-per-view. I feel as though I should be getting more than that. And I get it. I mean, look, he's a champion. I understand where he's coming from. He like, man, I deserve this. I've been through this. You know what I mean? I earned my stripes. So I get exactly where he's coming from. But then when you think about, look, man, you just signed a 4-fight deal previously with Matchroom. And this 4-fight deal was worth $2 million total. In this particular fight, you would have made $2 million for one fight. So I'm just saying, like, even if you know what I mean, that's still like the best offer that's on the horizon right now. There is no other fighter in your weight class from, I don't know, Miguel Burchelt or Jamel Herring or none of them. Not even at 126, because Leo Santa Cruz is talking about coming up to 130, but he going for the WBA Super, and you know Leo Santa Cruz ain't gonna pay you no mind. Tevin Farmer, he said out of his own mouth that he doesn't feel as though Top Rank wants to put Burchelt in the ring with him. So if you know these things, he says he's not going to go to 35 before he unifies. So if you know all of these things, why didn't you take that Tank deal? Went over there, maybe try to attempt to beat him. You must understand that Tank is the A side. You know, it is what it is. He rolls with Mayweather. He is the A side. But you know, he just didn't see it that way. You know what I mean? I mean, Tank is the A side. He got the machine. He has Showtime. They would have put that show on, Showtime pay-per-view or whatever it would have been. He got the machine with him. You should have went on over there, especially since, from what the word on the curb is that Eddie Hearn and Matchroom is possibly floating a one-fight deal towards Tevin's way. That's the rumors. If you're going to sign a one-fight deal with Matchroom based on the JoJo Diaz fight, why didn't you just do the one-fight deal with Tank? Got the $2 million and a chance to be unified. Took that belt, went on back to the zone and said, hey, now I got 2 belts. Now the price has increased. See, that's what I mean, bro. Look, I like Tevin a lot, man. I truly do. I think I said he's a dynamic fighter. I love his story of resilience, you know, the whole 9, you know. But you gotta understand where you at, homie. You're not the big star. You know how these promotional companies feel about you. You are a high risk, low reward type dude. I mean, that's just keeping it 100. Great, you're a good fighter. You got some good skills, no doubt about it. And you give everybody problem. But at the end of the day, these dudes looking at you like high risk, low reward. So if you would have went after that belt, got that unified title, went back to the zone and say, ching, ching, bitches, it would have been all good. At least I think. You know what I mean? And then, so when you move to Gary Russell Jr., I asked him, I said, yo, do you see yourself as the A side over Gary Russell Jr.? He says, yes. So I'm like, look, bro, you need to understand that Gary is a huge star here in the DMV, has a full market. He sells out anytime he fights in this town. You put him over at the MGM, it's sold out. When he fought JoJo Diaz, I was there. It was sold out. You got to remember, Gary has a market. Gary has been in there with big name fighters like Vasyl Lomachenko, far as for name recognition. Gary's also possibly beaten better fighters, such as a Johnny Gonzalez, or like I say, he's been in the ring with Vasyl Lomachenko. He's beat JoJo Diaz, the fighter that you're attempting to fight now. He's already beat him. And he beat him with proper separation. And I'm just saying, in front of a sold-out crowd. So I'm like, look, bro, I mean, it ain't a guaranteed thing that you the A side over Gary. I mean, I think, honestly, Gary might they both kind of on name recognition level. Like, a lot of people, of course, outside the diehard crowd won't know either name, you know, synonymously like that. But I think Gary's name probably still hold more weight than Tevin's, man. And you need to just be realistic, Tevin. And just you can at least approach the situation like 50-50 or something. You can't just come in there trying to big dog and say you A side. And that's not going to lure Gary Russell. Gary Russell says himself, one of the reasons that's hard to get to other opponents in the ring, because the money that Gary commands. There's only so much money in the pot, and Gary commands a certain amount of money for him to fight. You can't come in there trying to big dog. You could say, hey, it's a 50-50 thing, something like that. But you can't come in there trying, especially when Gary is talking about going to 130 and pursuing the WBC. Where, honestly, though the WBC champion is on the other side of the street, Gary is the WBC champion at 126, which means when he moves up, they'll put him very, very high, fighting for a mandatory almost immediately, should be, or going straight for the belt. Who knows? Purse bid may have to get ordered. But he has a very good chance of gaining access towards that WBC. So that's totally out of the way of the IBF. Now, how would you feel if Gary moved up to the 130, captures the WBC, then says, okay, let's fight for a unification fight? Who A side then? That's all I'm saying, bro. You got to be realistic for these big fights, man. I understand you know, a lot of fighters go through this where they are champions or they fought their way back from wherever, you know, from being totally forgotten. And a lot of fighters they gotta earn stripes. They gotta earn more hardware than say the next. See, you may even, let's just say for example, you have a better resume than Tank. But the fact that Tank rolling with Mayweather, he's just going to command a bigger audience. That's just claim to fame right now. You just gotta respect it for it is what it is. It's just that's what it is, bro. You can't get around. That's just how boxing works. And it's unfortunate because, you know, maybe you see yourself as the bigger fighter. I don't know. Muhammad Hamatola says if Tank knocks him out in bad fashion, his pay grade decreases, so he might as well get as much as he can. And I think that's what he had in mind. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Possibly so. Could be. Could be. Maybe he says, well, you know, going for that 2 million because he does risk losing everything. If he does lose, he loses way more. He loses that world title. Most importantly, his biggest fight that, especially with name recognition and everybody knowing, they would see that he lost it, and it wouldn't be good for him. I will admit that. So it's a tough situation, man. But you got to sometimes go for the risk, man. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what, I got to take this risk. I got to do this for the betterment of my career. I mean, especially if your horizons are kind of dim right now. I mean, you look at Tevin's horizons. I mean, like I said before, he said that Top Rank don't want to send Berchelt over or Jamel Herring. He feels as though they feel like he's a threat to them. They're not trying to give him the fight. You know, Leo Santa Cruz ain't gonna give you the fight. He's not gonna go to 135. Well, you can't just run in place. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I mean, you can't just run in place, bro. I just think he needs to take that chance, man. I mean, then you think back to the Kenichi Ogawa fight. When he fought Kenichi Ogawa, it was reported he made 70,000. That's the one where the dude he juiced up for Tevin, and he beat Tevin, but it was bullcrap because the dude was juiced up. He ain't make this nowhere near as much money in the Billy Dibb fight. I mean, I don't know. It just you gotta be realistic, Tevin, and you gotta understand where you at. And I think, yeah, if you do get that other belt, yes, the price tag definitely goes up without a doubt. If you would have took that Tank situation and maybe got through it, you know what I mean? Yo, you would have came out so much more stronger. It was a risk. It was one of those crossroads in your career where if you go left, you know, this is what it is. If you go right, it was a crossroad. And he chose to go the route that he goes. I wish him nothing but the best and success, and I hope he gets everything he wants. This Jojo Diaz fight may do a lot for him, to be honest with you, because Jojo Diaz has fought his way back to having some sort of name recognition. So maybe this does do good for him. But yet and still, at the end of the day, man, I just think that, man, he should have took that, though. You got 4-fight deal with Matchroom for $2 million, and they offered you that in one fight. Yeah, I know it's not nowhere near the line shit. Ain't nowhere near even half. I got you, man. And I know what he's thinking. He, like he said on the interview, after taxes and after everything come out, he ain't really walking away with much. But one thing that you are walking away with is earning potential. And that's the thing I was thinking about. Earning potential for future fights. Yeah, you may not, that may be, and he may be looking at it like that's the biggest fight right there, though. Why take the biggest fight that's right there and get low money? That's probably how you're looking at it. But you wanted that belt, bro. You wanted that name on your wall. So for the future going forward, they would have to seen Tevin Farmer. And that's the point I was trying to make. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wish he would have did. Muhammad Hamatola says, Gary's been making $1 million paydays and face better opposition. He's the A side to Farmer all day. And that's what I mean. His price tag has already been increased. And like you said, I think he beat the better name recognition and the better competition. And he has a market in the DMV that rocks with him heavy. I asked Tevin, when the next time you fighting in Philly? He said he don't know. Is he selling out shows around Philly? I don't know. Grown Man Boxing says your energy was a bit different last night, Playboy. I don't know what that means. Maybe you got lost in translation in the comments, but these are the exact questions that I asked him. You know what I'm saying? These are the exact questions that I asked him, man. And You must have got lost in translation, but this is how I was saying it from my end. You know what I'm saying? It ain't changed. Same old thing. You know what I mean? I wish I was actually on that joint. If I was on it, I'd have been saying it just like this. So, it is what it is, though. Mark Wunderlich says Tank would turn Farmer to a farmer. You know what I'm saying? Hey, would have been a good fight. It would have been a good fight. I mean, it would have been a fight that I'd have looked forward to breaking down, man. It really would have been, man. It really would have been. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit in the building. Salute to you. Salute to you. Salute to you. Bright Light says, why doesn't Al show Gary Russell Jr. any love? I mean, it's a good question. Hey, that's something that I'm just not privy to, man. That's a real good question. I wish Gary could have get good better fights than he got, man. But it's from what I'm hearing, it has a lot to do with his price tag, man, and paying other fighters to want to get in the ring and fight him, So maybe that has a lot to do with it, man. Because Gary ain't he's not that dude, man. You know what I'm saying? He going to command a certain amount of money. It's just that's just who he is. You know what I'm saying? I got the homie Rocket Strikes 89 in the building. What's up, family? What's going on? Let me see what you're talking about. All right, Rocket Strike says Tevin Farmer does need to take chances and fight better competition, but at the same time, I hope he doesn't fuck himself because I fucks with Slim and don't want to see him lose everything all day. None of us do, but you got to take risks. You got to take risks in the sport of boxing to get the big reward. You got to take that risk sometime. And I get it. I mean, no one wants to see him lose everything, but you get to a point in boxing in order to sometimes get to that next level. You just got to take that risk. We've seen fighters do this plenty of times in the past because, unfortunately, they don't have the same machine. They don't have the same name recognition or whatever as, say, the opposing fighter. You may even feel like you're a more accomplished fighter. But there's a time in order for you to get to that next level or be considered or to gain the respect that you want. You got to walk through that door. You know what I mean? You got to walk through that door. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk through that door, man. Like the homie say, man, hit the thumbs up for the homie, Joe. We up in this joint just cooling, man. Thumbs up for the homie, man. Hit the subscribe button also, man. Get down with main man, made man, Joe. But yeah, man. But it's just that, and I say this because, honestly, I just want Tevin to be realistic because we do want to see him in better fights. And I feel like a lot of promotional companies, well, I'm not going to say a lot. I'm going to say Eddie Hearn in particular. They would try to take advantage of a guy like Tevin. And they wouldn't see the real value and the real worth in a Tevin Farmer. But if he was a unified champion, well, everybody would have had to see him. Everybody. You know what I mean? So, and that's my whole point. I mean, look, man, look how difficult it is for him to re-signing with Matchroom right now. Like, this ain't an open and shut thing from what we hear. They showing like they got cold feet. I hope he get the deal that he desires, though, man. But I'm just like, dog, I think he should have took that chance, man. He should have took that $2 million, bro. I'm sorry, man. He should have went for that money and went for that belt, man, and went for that name recognition, man, while I was there, man. Now the man gone up in weight. Who else is on the horizon? Who else is there to fulfill that fight that flew away? There is no one else. Owen Bryan say Mayweather promotion offered him $2 million for the Tank fight, and he turned that down. Man, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the point I'm making, bro. Turned down the $2 million, but yet he signed a 4-fight deal with Matchroom worth $2 million. You know what I mean? Like, that don't make sense. If they offering you that in one fight with you, I don't know, man. Maybe some pushing and pulling could have got done, and maybe they could have took it to 3 because he says that they offered Tank 7, and he only took 2. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. This is what I be saying, man. Tevin sees himself as the big star. He sees himself as the house. He said in a recent interview, I am a household name to the interviewer. You know what I mean? And you just got to be realistic where he at in boxing, or where he at amongst the fans, or where they rank him at. You know what I mean? You just got to be realistic about it, bro. And like I say, the Tank fight, and if you want the Gary Russell Jr. fight, it ain't going to be smart to go into, or try to call out Gary, him knowing what your positions is on this whole, or where your mindset is on this whole thing. You know what I mean? Gotta be fair about it, man. Real talk. Rocket Strikes 89 says, I want to see him versus Gary, but in reality, he needs to stay away from Slim. Yeah, hey, look, man, that's the best fight on the whole. It's like you got to think like, and see with Gary, he will do business with Lou DiBella. Lou DiBella been down with the PBC since forever. PBC, and Lou DiBella promotes Tevin Farmer. It's an easy situation that can happen. And then when you look at, like I say, big fights that's realistic for Tevin right now, Burchell ain't gonna cross over. Herring ain't gonna cross over. I would love to see him versus Herring. Herring ain't gonna cross over. You know, Leo ain't gonna cross. Leo Santa Cruz, and when he come to one thing, he ain't gonna cross over. I think Gary would cross over for the right situation. And that's why I'm saying, like, there is no one else outside of that. Who else you talking about? Abnormalities ain't gonna come up and fight him. Who else? And Tevin said out of his own mouth, he's not going to 135 until he unifies. So, big fight. The next big thing for him would be probably Gary after the JoJo Diaz situation. So we'll see. And that's going to be a tough fight. That's not guaranteed, man. By the way, that's not guaranteed at all, man. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, it's you got to be realistic, Tevin. That's all I'm saying, bro. I want to see Tevin go forward and do well. And you know how Eddie Hearn looking at this situation, man. He's looking at it like, okay, Tank is gone. Who can I lure back over to the zone using I can't get the Tank fight. The Tank fight gone now. So what's next big for Tevin? And I think they, it's rumors swirling that they nervous about the JoJo Diaz fight. So that's why they don't want to give him nothing long term. He can't lose that belt. It'd be a good look, though. I will say, though, if he beat JoJo Diaz currently is the WBA gold champion. So if he beats JoJo Diaz, I think that's a very, very good name on his wall, even though Gary already beat him. But still, it'll still be a good name on his wall. And maybe that can help his price tag rise up. But I doubt it, man. I doubt it. I don't know. I'm just saying, be realistic, homie. And I don't think I'm saying the wrong thing here, man. I said it last night and I say it again. You know what I mean? Rocket Strikes 89 says, I wouldn't take the 2 mil. I wouldn't take the 2 mil for Tank either. You got to know your worth, and you got to see the trick bag coming from a mile away. I'd rather be paid good if I'm going to your territory under your rules and stipulations. But bro, like, man, I don't know, man. He was in a position where he was in a gray area where, okay, he's not currently on Matchroom no more. You know what I mean? They don't see the reason to give him that big money. And he needs to give them that reason, bro. You got to take that risk. You can't just keep sitting around and fighting the nobodies of the world and then expecting to get paid big money when big names come around. You guys, sometimes you got to go that extra mile more than the next fighter. It's just that's the way boxing is, unfortunate. The 2 mil wasn't a bad deal, bro. That's the biggest payday of his career. That would have been the biggest payday of his career. Now, maybe he could have worked out some little, bells and whistles about some back end money or something like that. But that 2 mil could have been, man, that would have been the biggest payday of his career. And there's no one else in the horizon right now in his environment that he can see to make that kind of money. I don't know, man. It ain't like you got options like, oh, well, if I turn that money down, I can go fight this cat over here for 2 million. Or I can go fight. He don't have that luxury. You know what I mean? And that's what I was kind of trying to look out. You don't got that luxury of picking and saying that, I can go fight that guy, this guy, that guy. You got to fight who right there, bro. And they ain't going to sit back and they're going to look at you and say, oh, you asking for what? Nah, Mo. These are unification fights. Get the belt and then raise your price tag. Man, come on, man. Y'all know how the steps go, man. Y'all know how this go, man. Y'all know if you don't got that big fan base, you don't got that big market, they not going to be willy-nilly just throwing that money out there like this. Or they don't see earning future potential for big fights using you. They're not going to, you know what I'm saying, give it to you. You take, for example, like they're talking about offering the Charlos, right? Money to come over to the zone or whatever. The price tag would definitely have to increase for them because their future potential for big fights is huge. They in a division full of opportunities. It's not like that with Tevin. He's not in an area where he's full of opportunities. They're looking at him as high risk, high reward. I don't know. Muhammad Hamatola, the zone ain't seeing no significant returns on the money. They're throwing out at fighters. Tevin will have a hard time getting a good deal with them. Exactly. I agree. But he would not have a hard time getting a good deal with him as a unified champion, or if he would have went for it. And even if he would have lost, for example, right? Let's just say if he would have got in that fight and that joint was a good ass fight. It still would have raised this stock. Sometimes your stock can be rose in defeat. You got to take a chance though. His name would have been associated with tanks. Oh, they had a tough scrap, whatever the case may be. It still would have been maybe rose his stock one way or another, man. I mean, bro, you just can't just sit there in place and just hope it fall in your lap sometimes, man. You know, especially when you look at the opposition that you're currently fighting, and it's not, the greatest competition in the world. You know what I mean? I mean, Fonseca, Billy Diaz. I mean, seriously, like, you know what I'm saying? Like these names ain't moving the ball much for Tevin. Then he fighting on an app that people in America ain't really rocking with heavy like that. I mean, I don't know. It's like, man, I want to see the kid do good, man, but you got to take them risks, man. Got to take them risks. Rocket Strikes 89 say it would have been the biggest payday of his career, but it could have also ended his career too. No matter how much rapping Tevin be doing, he understands what's real. Okay, well, like I say, man, in order to get that, wouldn't have achieved the next level for Tevin, the level that he wants, the paydays that he wants on a consistent basis. Doing what he's doing now ain't going to achieve that. Sitting over there on the app fighting the unknown of boxing ain't going to achieve that. I get it. You do risk losing a lot, like I told you, man. Yeah, I get it. But at this point in his career, what else would he go to? You saying just be content making these little checks and fighting the unknowns and just stay where you at. That's basically what you're saying. Until somebody comes along and maybe offers him more than $2 million. But who's that somebody? You know what I mean? Somebody riddle me that. Who the hell is this somebody? Because I don't see no goddamn body. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm tripping. Smitty Smith in the house. What up, famo? What's good with you, man? What's good? We just chopping it up for a minute, man. Just a quick minute. Taking that, man. It was a great interview, man. I'm telling y'all, everybody, y'all gotta go check that interview out last night, man. It's right down there. Like I said, I put the link in the description box or whatnot, so y'all can see it down there, man. Look, man. I want the best for Tevin, man. But I would love to see a fight between him and Gary Russell Jr., man. That's a very possible fight to make. It's a good fight for both fighters, and where they at in their career, it's a good unification fight. And it will actually bring a lot of light to both of these dudes if they find each other. I believe, because the boxing world will be lit about that fight. Tevin Farmer versus a Gary Russell Jr., man, that shit'll be on fire. That'll be a great fight for both men. But you got to approach the situation realistically. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all, because that can just make it all just break down the shit. You know what I mean? And I don't really want to see that, man, at all. Rocket Strikes 89 says that's probably he's investing in real estate. Maybe he's setting himself up for what that time comes. He said he's got his hand to a lot of businesses, man. Salute to him for making moves outside of the ring. You know what I'm saying? He says he's setting himself up real cool with investments and stuff like that, according to the interview. So yeah, man, check it out when you get a chance, man. But yeah, I hope he is too, man. I mean, fighters like that, I honestly want to see him get the big fight. I want to see him get the big fight, man. I want to see him get everything he wants because I love his story. The dude had 4 losses. No one thought twice about him. He fought his way back. He walked into that fire to try to get that tank fight. He got that ball rolling. I remember how it went down. He the one that got the ball. He the one that got the boxing fans talking about it. But then when we get to the point where the fight is possible, you wasn't currently locked in no kind of deal. You wasn't in that DAZN deal no more. You wasn't in a Matchroom deal. You know what I'm saying? You had an opportunity, and you could have went over there, took that belt, and went back and then re-signed your deal. And they would have had to see you, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's how fighters get that good guaranteed money contract, man. And I'm gonna leave it right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Y'all can continue to have a blessed day. Stay stressed and sucker free. Once again, click the link in the description box. Check out the interview for yourselves, man. Y'all will see me in the comment section saying basically exactly what I'm saying right now. Ain't a word change. Only thing I told him last night was like, yo, bro, you shouldn't do that, man. Gary. I asked him, do you see yourself as the A side over Gary? He said, yeah. I said, I put in the comment section, $2 million is a good offer. I thought the $2 million was a good offer. It's right there. Y'all will see it. Just click the link and check it out, man. And salute the Monty Brown TV for a hell of an interview, man. Salute. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay stressed and sucker free out there, man. And like always, to the next video, don't forget to subscribe. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Instagram, Main Man Made Man. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, main man, made man, man. We everywhere, man. Just come on, man. Rock with the homie, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace out.